Musical chairs.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, very well.
Are you
very
enjoying
well? Absolutely. Everybody was so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful to hear all of them, yes.
Such heartfelt messages for your daughter. And
I know it's like being at the premiere of Iti Srikanto, right? That was your first film, yes? Yeah. And today is also a kind of debut.
Well, I think we're laughing more now.
Yes, that's true. That's true, yes.
No, but I mean, I know, like she says, you're one of her biggest critics. But are you proud?
I know they're making me sound like a bit of an ogre, right?
No. No, you just seem like a good mom. Yeah, no, that's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but are you proud that she's written this book? Like,
Yes.
genuinely, are you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's really not easy to write a book. I mean, you can talk well, you can write paras, you can write columns, but to have the discipline to actually write that many chapters and make it into a book,
Yeah.
I think it's great. And well done, Soha. Really,
you.
very, very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's so lovely. You want to read something out of the book? You have an
Yes.
excerpt you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, lovely.
Sorry?
Want me to share something?
Yes, please. If you have an anecdote that you'd love to share about
Not
your
as
daughter.
funny ones as all these guys been telling
No,
you.
but
I remember certain things which are really, I think I've heard the most sad and poignant sentence from her, which aged, I think, 6, which have stayed with me all these years. I remember when we went to Delhi from Mumbai, we made a shift. All of us left to stay with my mother-in-law who was not keeping so well. And so that meant change of school, change of everything. And one night I was reading a bedtime story to Soha, and suddenly I found her crying, really sobbing her heart out. So I said, Soha, what's happened? What's happened to you? Why are you crying? And she said, Amma, I cannot remember my friends' faces. And I mean, just imagine, I think that's the terrible thing if you cannot remember. Of course, I could have produced pictures and photographs, but at that moment, I really felt that, I mean, how awful it must be for a little girl. Yeah. And then another occasion, we were walking around Patodi. We have a biggish house and we have a smallish house. Anyway, we were taking a stroll. And suddenly, Sohabia says, Amma, who is Bhai going to marry? And again, she was about 6 years old or something. So I said, I have no idea who Bhai is going to marry. So she says, well, Bhai is a prince. So whoever he marries will be a princess, right? So I said, yes, if you say so, true. So then who am I going to marry? Where will I find a prince? And then she adds, she says, well, after much thinking, princes are very difficult to find, like domestic staff. So to distract her, so I looked at this, like I said, we had a biggish house and a smallish house and a kind of a khandar, like a ruin. So we were passing that. So I said, so that's going to be your house. When you get married, we'll give it to you. We'll do it up, of course. So she was kind of alarmed. She said, but Amma, that's terribly dangerous for children. And she was 6. And then she said, but who's going to look after my children? Can I take Suraya B from Bhopal? So this was really forward planning. But Soha, it's happened to you now, and you still don't have a maid. But Suraya B is a couple of years older. So I don't think you can have Suraya B. So she was kind of always into forward planning, even then. Huh?
Wow, that was a really smart question, and it was really sad. I can't remember my friends' faces.
I know. I mean, just think about it. Think about it. So it's really stayed with me.
Everything okay?
Okay, so I'll read something. Actually, I wanted to read the whole book, but I was told that I can't. Yeah, there is a time limit. So this is talking about her entrepreneurship. At the age of 9, I discovered money, and I couldn't get enough of it. I became an entrepreneur. First, I sold cosmetics to the staff, ideal customers who couldn't say no to me. I gathered up all the usual makeup my mother had tossed into the... Oh, I gathered up all the used makeup that my mother had tossed into the bin, almost empty bottles of nail polish and lipstick, near bare pots of cold cream, placed them on a tray, and marched down to the staff quarters. Each item was then sold to my captive consumers for a grand sum of ₹2. Inevitably, there was rioting in the ranks, and news of my greedy exploits reached my mother's horrified ears. My flourishing business was forced into immediate closure, and I got my first lesson in economic protectionism versus a free market. So I branched out. I packed a small suitcase with plastic syringes, some small towels, a box of Band-Aids, and a fistful of mints, and went around the house administering medical aid to those I thought in need. Headaches were treated with a cold compress and a mint in lieu of aspirin. Joint and muscle pains eased with massages, and injections were given for more baffling ailments. The fee for each visit was again the grand sum of ₹2. My doctor's practice was actually was quite successful and received much encouragement from all members of the household. I was even offered a handsome sum of ₹25 from an anonymous investor to buy balms and ointments when I turned 10 and outgrew the business. When I was 12, I was reading the famous Five and Nancy Drew books, and so naturally the only possible career option in my mind was that of a detective. My father didn't take well to my following him around the house, jotting down notes on who he was seeing and what he was doing, and that was soon the end of that vocation. The following week, I was enrolled in the Delhi School of Music. First for ballet classes, I was unceremoniously dropped from these within the month with the forthright explanation that I had the grace of a 5-legged spider. They're quite graceful, really, spiders. And then for piano lessons, in which I fared only marginally better. My family was then subjected to endless post-dinner recitals of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and London Bridges Falling Down, for which the admission fee was, you guessed it, ₹2 per person. 12 years later, at 24, sitting in my corporate cabin overlooking the business hub of BKC, I would ask myself if I'd made the right career choice, and if there was such a thing as the right career choice. I wanted to be financially independent, free to make my own decisions. I wanted to earn enough to lead the lifestyle to which I had grown accustomed, which included air conditioning, travel, a diet rich in overpriced exotic fruit, and adding to my most cherished possession, my ever-expanding library of books. Very nice to have you.
Thank you.
This book is a beautiful tribute to all the people in your life, like everyone on stage here and your father who's not here. And I think, I don't know if you guys noticed just now, it's just this beautiful moment, Sharmila ji, when you were reading, and she held your sari pallu, and your son came and held your page for you, and it's just...
Perils of wearing a sari.
It was a really beautiful moment. Thank you so much for all of you for sharing your stories.
Thank you, Kaniz, for hosting this and for being here. And thank you all for being my family.
Are you not going to read anything?
No, that's...